why is modern medicine so drug intensive? And it's not because patent petrochemical medicine is superior. It's because of monopoly medicine, which was created over 100 years ago.
The doctor is brainwashed when he gets out of medical school because the medical school has too much subsidization of the professors who are being paid by the drug company.
So this is the problem, and that goes back even further in time to the turn of the last century, when the Rockefeller Group and the Carnegie Group actually came together, and they decided that they would reform medical education in America.
Well, they would get a hold of the education system and create a medical monopoly via basically eliminating all competition to patent petrochemical medical education.
Carnegie and Rockefeller began to immediately shower hundreds of millions of dollars on these medical schools that were teaching drug-intensive medicine. By 1940, over 1,500 chiropractors would be prosecuted for practicing quackery. By 1950, all the schools teaching homeopathy were closed.
So cancer is just one element of this unspeakable business of defining diseases as a marketplace. Everything else that you see today around the pharmaceutical industry comes from the fact that it's a business model, an investment industry that thrives on the continuation of existing diseases and the launching of new diseases.
It's estimated by 2020 that more than half of all cancer in America will be medically induced from drugs or radiation. So our medical establishment itself will soon become the leading cause of cancer in America.
We know that 97% of people who undergo chemotherapy are dead in 5 years. That study was placed in the 2004 edition of the Journal of Oncology. It was the cancer doctors telling on themselves.
It's almost like sending in napalm because you've got an ant problem. So yes, you'll take care of the ants, possibly, but then you're going to take care of every other form of life, including the grass, and you're going to level the site just to try to get the ants. So the collateral damage are the people that live there in the same house as the ants, meaning that the normal endogenous healthy cells are also going to get massacred.
It does seem insane to treat cancer with chemotherapy and radiation that actually cause cancer, doesn't it? But doctors are required to do this. As a matter of fact, they suffer adverse consequences if they do not prescribe chemo and radiation. They can even lose their license to practice medicine.
Most patients never question their doctors because they think the doctor is the sole authority. Most patients don't even get a second opinion. Most patients believe the explanations, the diagnoses that the cancer doctors give them. Oh, this shadow on this x-ray, that means you have cancer. We have to start now or you're going to die. You know, the fear tactics that these oncologists use are highly unethical and really should be criminal. You cannot take and isolate every chemical out of a plant and expect that plant to have the same healing powers. And this is why chemical cancer medicine fails 97% of the time.
And what we're doing in modern medicine is saying, we don't care about the rules. We're going to change the rules. We know that you need vitamin D and sunshine, but we're going to say we can't patent that. So we're going to try and come up with a drug that bypasses all of those pathways. Nature to be commanded must be obeyed.
So this is the amazing thing. You take a poison, you give it to people, they die. It's part and parcel of the normal status quo, modus operandi. This is how it's supposed to be. Now you break that, you actually do something that's not toxic, you help patients, they live. Hey, we don't care whether the patient lives or not. That's irrelevant. It's not part of the standard of care.
You are persecuted because you destabilize all the system. So any big, true discovery make the old system useless. That's why you are shut down. Because we live in a medieval status. This is the real reason why cancer is still killing millions of people.
It's not easy to treat these advanced patients because we are continuously being harassed for doing this, okay? We are mercilessly harassed by lawyers, by people who know nothing about treatment, who are stupid puppets of the guys behind who knows very well what we can offer, but are directing these guys like in Nazi Germany, and they are simply obeying orders because they were programmed this way.
Almost 80 years ago, a scientist named Royal Raymond Rife faced jail time for using an unapproved treatment.
In the 1930s, Dr. Royal Rife, who was a microbiologist, knew that there were microbes inside the cancer cells. And he came up with an electromedicine device, a couple of them actually, which was designed to do nothing but kill the microbes inside the cancer cells. So he developed this technology. The American Medical Association tried to buy him out, and he refused because he did not trust them. So the Food and Drug Administration went down and destroyed his laboratory, his equipment, destroyed all of his inventory.
In the end, Dr. Rife's lab was burned, his records were stolen, his life was ruined, and he eventually died of a drug overdose. I want to be clear, we are not saying that everyone that works in the medical industry, the cancer industry, or the pharmaceutical companies are bad people. Not at all. That is not what we're trying to say. What we are saying in this documentary, and we're trying to communicate this fact, is that the entire medical system has been hijacked. We want to be clear that we communicate that. The problem is that the system is broken.
The one disease that the status quo, meaning the pharmaceutical investment business, needs most to continue its business, to stabilize, to cement its system, is cancer.